Hello. In the previous video, the concept of reflexive pronouns was discussed. In this video, we take up the idea of emphatic pronouns. As the very word emphatic indicates, pronouns are sometimes used to emphasize a statement or the action done by the subject. Such pronouns which are used to heighten the effect of an action or statement, are called emphatic pronouns. You will understand this now when we go through the features of emphatic pronouns. So, as we said, emphatic pronouns emphasize the statement made in the sentence. What do they emphasize? Well, they stress the fact that the action denoted by the verb in the sentence is performed by the subject without resorting to external help. You'll understand this better when we go through the sentences. These pronouns are not an essential part of the sentence. Even without them, the meaning of the sentence is clear. So first, let us see how these emphatic pronouns are formed. First, we take up the case of singular number. To derive the emphatic pronouns, we add self to the singular personal pronouns. We did this in the case of reflexive pronouns. It's the same rule that is followed here. So we have the singular personal pronoun my. And what do? We add self to it. So it becomes myself, which is in the first person. So both my and myself are in the first person. Second person, we have your as the personal pronoun. We add self, so we get yourself, which is also in the second person. Third person, if it is feminine gender, we have her as the personal pronoun. After adding self, we get herself. In the case of masculine gender, him is the personal pronoun, and we add self and we get himself. In the case of neuter gender, we have it, which becomes itself. So this is how emphatic pronouns are formed in the case of singular number. Now we take up the case of plural number. So in this case, selves is added to the plural personal pronouns. So first person, the plural personal pronoun is our. We add selves, so we get ourselves. Your, second person, and we get yourselves. Third person, the personal pronoun is them, and we get themselves. So this is how we form emphatic pronouns in the case of plural number. Now, usually the problem that arises is that because the formation of reflexive pronoun and emphatic pronouns are the same, so there is a confusion. What is the difference between the two? Very often we mix them up. So let's see the difference between the two. So the first difference is that in the case of reflexive pronoun, as we have studied in the previous video, a reflexive pronoun reflects back to the subject. It's like a mirror. If you look at the mirror or you look in the mirror, you see your reflection. So actually the reflexive pronoun is a reflection of the subject. In the case of emphatic pronoun, it's not a reflection. It merely emphasizes the statement made in the sentence. It is required to convey the complete meaning of the sentence. That means in the case of reflexive pronoun, that pronoun is essential to complete the meaning. If you remove that pronoun, the sentence becomes incomplete. That means it is no longer a sentence because a sentence should make complete sense. So reflexive pronoun is essential it is required to convey the complete meaning of the sentence. Whereas in the case of emphatic pronoun, it is not an essential part of the sentence. Even if you remove it, the meaning of the sentence is clear. So it is an addition to the sentence, only to emphasize the statement. The third difference is that in the case of reflexive pronoun, the pronoun is used in the objective case in the sentence. So it is in the position of the object, whereas an emphatic pronoun is not the object. What is it? It is just an addition made to the sentence to emphasize a point or to stress a point. It reveals the subject and object refer to the same person, persons, or things. What is this H? Reflexive pronoun. So what does a reflexive pronoun reveal? That the subject and the object refer to the same person or thing, singular or plural. Why? Why is it so? Because it's a reflection. The object is a reflection of the subject. In the case of emphatic pronoun, there is no reflection. So what does it reveal? It reveals that the action depicted by the verb was performed by the subject without any external help. This is what it is emphasizing, that the work that was done by the subject has been done by the subject himself or herself. Now, what is the position of these pronouns? These are all very distinct differences. So if you understand them well, you can easily identify which is the reflexive pronoun and which is the emphatic pronoun. So the last difference is that being the object, the reflexive pronoun always comes after the verb. Because how do we find out the object? We ask the question after the verb. Whom or what? So it comes after the verb. Whereas in the case of an emphatic pronoun, it's not an object. So it doesn't come after the verb. In fact, it comes before the verb along with the subject, or it comes after the object. So the position of the noun, the pronoun in the sentence is different in the case of reflexive and emphatic. So now let's take up a few examples of emphatic pronoun. Now this will make it very clear what we have understood so far. See the first sentence. We will complete the work ourselves. Now, first of all, to know whether there is an emphatic pronoun, you have to see whether there is any word, any pronoun which has self or selves in it. So we have the pronoun here, ourselves. We will complete the work ourselves. Now, how do you know it's an emphatic pronoun? Now, if you remove that word, what is the sentence? We will complete the work. Now, that makes complete sense. We will complete the work. So, what is this emphatic pronoun? It has been added. It has been added to the sentence to emphasize. And what is it that it is emphasizing? That we will complete the work ourselves without taking any external help. So, that is implied, that you are not taking anyone else's help. So, see what is the meaning of that emphatic pronoun? It is an addition made to the sentence to emphasize that the subject will perform the action which is mentioned by the verb themselves. Now, so here we have the emphatic pronoun ourselves. Let's take the second sentence. They themselves approach the principal. Now you can immediately identify that the emphatic pronoun is themselves because it is plural. So we have selves there, themselves. And they approach the principal. Now what is the position of this emphatic pronoun? It is just next to the subject. It is before the verb. And if you remove it, what is the meaning of the sentence? They approach the principal. So it's very clear. So actually themselves is not required for the sentence to make complete sense. But then it has been added because it emphasizes that they themselves approach the principal. I mean, they did it on their own. They were not asked to do it, or they were not, nobody else made them do it. So the emphatic pronoun is themselves. She herself will explain the matter. So now this is singular. So we have herself. And where does it come? It comes immediately after the subject, she. She herself will explain the matter. So it's very clear that the emphatic pronoun is herself. If you remove it from the sentence, the meaning is still there. She will explain the matter, which is fine. But then she herself will explain the matter. That emphasizes the action. He prepared for the competition himself. So now you know, I'm sure, how to identify. So we have himself as the emphatic pronoun. Now see the position of this emphatic pronoun. It is after the object. Which is the object here? The verb is prepared. He prepared for what? For the competition. So competition is the object. So after the object, we have the emphatic pronoun. So the emphatic pronoun can be in the beginning with the subject, or it can be after the object. The forest itself is not scary. So again, the emphatic pronoun very clearly is itself, the forest itself. And what is its position? It is just next to the subject, the forest itself. Even if you remove it, the forest is not scary. That makes complete sense, but it has been added to emphasize that the forest itself, that means by itself, is not scary. So we have in this video gone through the concept of emphatic pronoun and also differentiated between reflexive and emphatic pronouns. It is time now to take a quick test on TeachYaar.com to revise what you have learned. To take the test, scan the QR code with your mobile device or click on the link given below the video in the description section and comment section. Subscribe to the TeachYaar YouTube channel for notifications.